Thank you, Mr. President. Okay, Jeff, I represent Benue Northwest. Mr. President, as we kickstart the process this side of the divide, legislative side, I want us to refresh on the provisions of Section 81 of the Constitution that says that the President is enjoined to place before the National Assembly estimates of the revenues and expenditures. After that, after what the President did last Thursday, it is our responsibility. I'm emphasizing on that provision because what we have before us are mere estimates. No, we shouldn't proceed as if we have sacrosanct document before us that we can't do anything about. That is the provision of the Constitution. So, having said that, Mr. President, I want to tell us that the Nigerian public is there waiting to see what we can do, just so that we are not accused at the end of the day of having gone through the same ritual over and over again. Because if at the end of the day we produce a budget that will not benefit the average Nigerian, then the accusations will be valid that we are here for a yearly ritual. I want us to avoid that, Mr. President. Now, talking about revenues, Mr. President, the President submitted a budget of 13.08 trillion. Now, the estimated or the projected earnings is 8.43. Now, let's not forget that if you go by previous budgets, the problem we've always had with our budget is that what the minority leader previously mentioned, that is achieving our projections, our revenue projections. We have always had it wrong. At the end of the day, we get it wrong. And as long as we get it wrong, that is where borrowing will come in, if we really have to fund. But if you look at how we have funded the budget, especially the capital component of the budget, we've always got it wrong. That is why I have problems with this budget. I have problem with the 13 trillion that we have, because there's nothing on ground to show that we really have the capacity to fund this budget. So my take is that, why don't we come up with a realistic figure, which at the end of the day, we may be able to fund the budget far more than we've ever done before, because as it is, it's more of the same that has been happening in the past. Mr. President, as somebody who is from Benue, agriculture, Benue, by the way, is known as the food basket of the nation. So naturally, I'll look out for any provision. Yes, you could say that...
time up. Look at the time. Time up.
It's just 2 minutes now. So, agriculture, I look out for it. Then you could say that over 100 billion has been provided for agriculture. But if you look at what has been happening practically, one component of agriculture is provision of fertilizer to the average farmers. And it has been priced out of the reach of the average farmer. What are we going to do to ensure that not just the fantastic amount that has been provided, but this actually goes to help the average farmer? At the beginning, or at the outset of this administration, the President made a grandiose declaration about moving away from oil to other sectors, particularly agriculture. And I was very excited, and every time I had opportunity to speak on the media, I re-echoed that because I knew it was going to be very helpful. But what can we say? I'm just thinking, how much has agriculture provided to the GDP year in, year out since this declaration was made? Unfortunately, not much. And so, if we don't have agriculture contributing much, I'm afraid to say that we'll continue to borrow needlessly, because agriculture is a big earner if we get our acts all together. So, in my opinion, my dear colleagues, before we roll this out for the signature of the President, we should bring down the sum to be a realistic sum, so that we don't go borrowing sums and leaving debt for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Senator Chukwuka.